down, but he did get back into Georgia territory at about the 46-yard line, where it would appear that West Virginia might have to punt it away for the first time. But you never know. Here comes the punting unit.
And you still never know.
With the smile Rich Rodriguez has had on his face all week, you never know.
And you still never know.
That is Phil Brady, the punter. Second team all Big Easts. And Thomas Flowers, a guy that has one touchdown return this year against Tennessee.
Look at the line splits, Brad. Look how wide the line splits are up there.
I'm not crazy about that formation ever, but they are going to pooch it. And Flowers going to have to call for a fair catch at about the 9-yard line. So Georgia's defense finally stops West Virginia, but it took them quite a bit to stop them. The question now is, can Craig Lumpkin and DJ Shockley and company do something with it offensively for Georgia? We'll find out when we come back.
ABC Sports exclusive coverage of the Nokia Sugar Bowl, brought to you by Nokia. Your friends, your family, your music, your pictures. It's your life in there. Nokia. Pontiac. Today's your last chance to go online and vote for the Pontiac Game-Changing Performance of the Year. Aflac. Ask about it at work. And Tostitos. Nothing brings people together like Tostitos chips and salsa. Meet you at the Tostitos.
Senior quarterback DJ Shockley's got his troops huddled at about the 5-yard line. Georgia went 80 yards the last time they had it. They'd love to go 90 right now. They trail 28-7 with 10:44 remaining in the first half of the Nokia Sugar Bowl. Brad Nessler, Bob Greasy, Lynn Swan, and our ABC crew at the Dome. DJ Shockley at the helm. Thomas Brown is back in, the tailback in the eye. Play action, they flare it out, so they get it to Massaquoi, the freshman. And he's got a first down at the 21-yard line, so that gives him a little bit of breathing room. Let's check our Aflac trivia question for this Nokia Sugar Bowl. Among the 4 BCS bowls, when was the last time a game was moved from its traditional sites? We'll have the answer for you a little bit later on. Georgia out at the 21-yard line. Found a little crease in there and then tripped up, but still got about 3. DJ Shockley has hit his last 4 passes after starting 0 for 4. He has a fumble also in the ball game. See Georgia not only with the BCS championship logo on their helmet, but also that 3-state area that was ravaged by Hurricane Katrina and Rita, much like LSU had on their helmets the other night, representing the Southeastern Conference. There you see it in the black. And of course, this game, 71 years in New Orleans. This is a once-in-a-lifetime in Atlanta. It'll be back where it belongs next year. All goes well. McClendon on the reception. Knocked out of bounds, but he's got a first down. Mike Norello. Another stop defensively, and Georgia continues to move it. They're starting to settle in, but they're trailing by 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, well, they're trying to open the things up. Shockley is settling down. He was a little off key to start with. McClendon, the inside receiver, goes to the outside. Mark Richt is the offensive coordinator. Both head coaches call the plays for the offenses in this ball game, and both do a very good job. But the quarterbacks are the ones that make them go.
1st and 10 for the Dogs. Play action. Shockley going to throw. Overthrew his man and almost had it picked off. Anthony Mims was back there. Pope, I think, was the intended receiver. He also had McClendon on a deep route, but it looked like Pope's the guy overshot.
Yeah, well, Rich Rodriguez said we don't have anybody that can cover Pope.
He said he could be eating peanuts off the top of our linebackers' helmets by the time the game's over. That's Rich's words, not mine. He is a big fella. They list him at 6'7". He says, I'm not 6'7", I'm 6'8". And who's going to argue? 3 wideouts and Shockley in the gun. Might be a blitz coming from the corner. Here it comes. Shockley got rid of it down the middle. Complete. Going to be a first down to Massaquoi.
Well, you saw Lorello, 23, coming. And somebody just picked him up at the last second to allow Shockley to get rid of the ball.
He was coming with a head of steam, too.
From our left side, Lorello, I think, would have gotten there before he got rid of the football.
We mentioned a little bit earlier, Sean Bailey not playing in this game, so Kenneth Harris, the freshman, gets a start. Massaquoi, the freshman, has really been their #1 receiver this year. Now on the ground, Thomas Brown. Broke a tackle. Cuts outside. He's got excellent speed. Brown inside the 30. Goodbye. Touchdown, Georgia. Brown, like Slayton earlier, goes 52 yards for a Georgia touchdown. Looked like they had him bottled up in the backfield, but Thomas Brown bounced it outside, and the sophomore from Tucker, Georgia, took it to the barn. Katu in for the point after. Georgia's back in the game. 8:52 remaining in the first half. The fans of the Georgia Dome have something to cheer about. Finally, 52 yards for Brown. It's 28-14, West Virginia.
Hello, this is Corporal Ruben Maestre. I'm with 2 MEF Public Affairs here at Camp Fallujah, Iraq. I want to say hello to my family and friends back home in Georgia, in the Atlanta and Athens area, and to the rest of the Bulldog Nation. Go Dogs!
All right, Ruben, you've got something to cheer about finally. Dogs go 90 yards in 1:52. They've scored 14 unanswered points in the last 4 minutes and 6 seconds. Career long run, and Georgia, Bob, has 14 points despite running only 1 play tonight in West Virginia territory. That's crazy.
How do you do that? Bunch of long, big plays, huh?
Big plays. You said they can score 28 points. The question is, can they stop West Virginia? They've only stopped them once tonight, but it led to a 90-yard touchdown march. Lewis will take it 3 yards deep and bring it out. Georgia levels him at about the 21-yard line. C.J. Bird is the guy that made the stop. Let's take you back to the touchdown, Robert.
Go back to the touchdown. Watch the offensive line. Gene Gillis is 74. 70 is Jones, the center, Schnetker. All these guys right up the middle. Watch the blocking. Now, I said earlier, West Virginia had to tackles and takeaways. They've got takeaways. They didn't tackle on that play right there.
So now White will be under center. Hasn't been there too much tonight. At the 21-yard line, first down, West Virginia. Slayton gets a call. Trying to cut it outside. Boy, he's got speed. And he's tripped up out there in the open field by Tim Jennings, the senior. Only 5'8", little cornerback out of Orangeburg, South Carolina. He's had quite a career at Georgia, though. Good player. Well, Slayton over 100 yards already just in the first half of play. He got it going early and often. Showing his speed, his moves, and explosiveness into the secondary. He scored from long range. Got 6 on that last carry. It's 2nd down and 4. And now direct snap, White in the middle of the pile. Georgia trying to prevent him from getting the first down, and they do as he got to the 30-yard line. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 1.
Bob and Brad, just a quick observation. On all of these runs we've seen, whether it's for Georgia or for West Virginia going into the end zone, I am amazed and marveling at the excellent downfield blocking of all the wide receivers on both teams. They are really opening up the secondary for the running backs every opportunity they get.
Well, the fundamentals for West Virginia in all aspects of the game are very good.
Schmidt, the fullback, big opening and a big run. 1 man to beat. All the way down to the 20 to the 16-yard line. Rich Rodriguez told us right before the game, don't forget about my fullback. He told Bob and Lynn and I on the sideline, And Schmidt just rumbled 54 yards up the middle on 3rd and 1.
There he is right there. Look at this hole right in here. Everybody's looking for Slayton and White. They're not looking for the big fullback.
All the way down to the 16-yard line. A career-long run for Schmidt, the fullback. And now White comes up throwing. Flares it out. Renaud again. Broke a tackle. Boy, almost got a first down. And he knows if he could have rolled off one more defender and kept his balance, he'd have been in the end zone. Trey Battle, as it is, lost his headgear, is the guy that made the stop.
If you're wondering, the Mountaineers averaged 32 points on the year. That's playing in the Big East, which everybody says was not as strong as it was in the past without Miami, Virginia Tech, and Boston College.
3rd and a long one. Slayton hitting the backfield and might have gotten the first down anyway. Only needed a long yard and popped it close to a first down. They may have to take a look at this. Schmidt back in there after getting a breather for one play. The big fullback. Interesting story. Started his career at Wisconsin River Falls, a Division III school. Transferred, took tapes around the country. Driving in his car, went to Maryland. Maryland said, no, we don't need you. He said, let's see, what's the next school I can drive to? How about Morgantown? They said, you know what? You don't look bad on tape, even though it's your own tape. Comes in here, and now he's the starting fullback in a Division I team, and he's a good one.
Well, as you mentioned, we were on the field just before the game, and, you know, we're talking with Rich, and of all things, he says, watch this fullback.
That's right.
He said, watch Schmidt. I mean, we could have talked about 100 different things, and he brings up Schmidt, the fullback.
So they're not even the length of the football shy of a first down. And it's 3rd down, and the guy we just talked about might get the call again. 3rd and inches, and Rich Rodriguez going to have to call a timeout. We'll take one along with him. 6 minutes and 23 seconds remaining in the first half of play in the Nokia Sugar Bowl. West Virginia leads Georgia by 2 touchdowns.
ABC Sports coverage of the Nokia Sugar Bowl continues.
West Virginia has a 3rd down and about a foot to go. They've already got 210 rushing yards in this first half against Georgia, and they lead 28-14. And I would think even if they didn't pick up this first down the way they've been playing, it's probably 2-down territory, knowing Rich Rodriguez and how he approaches every game. White barking signals to everybody at the 6-yard line of Georgia. Georgia's going to bring a blitz. Slayton, they wrap him up and they drop him. Now that big a loss, maybe they will kick a field goal. Loss of 3 back to the 10.
Yeah, they called a timeout, and then when he was out there, White looked over to make sure that which play to run.
That is a huge, huge stop for the Georgia defense.
Watch the red shirts come up here to blitz. That was not the play that he wanted. That was not the defense he wanted for the play he had called.
So Pat McAfee in on the right hash mark to try a 27-yard field goal. A true freshman, 10 out of 17 on the year.
Timeout.
Timeout taken by West Virginia. That is their last timeout with 5:41 to go. And all of a sudden, a happy coach is an unhappy coach in the last 2 minutes or so. He's got a field goal attempt coming up when we return. Harry Dog. Harry's situation for Georgia early. They still trail by 2 touchdowns, and now Pat McAfee will try to add to it. He's 10 out of 17 on the year and 5 of 6 in this range, which is a 27-yard field goal attempt. True freshman trying to make it 31-14. And he's got it. So McAfee, a 27-yard field goal, adds to the West Virginia lead. 31 points in the first half. But Georgia now will have 2 timeouts remaining and 5:37 to work with before halftime. 7-play drive. Remember, the big chunk of that drive was on a 3rd and 1. Owen Schmidt's 54-yard run.